You know, we have something in Aikido like that.
Here we go, see?
And mostly it's just an opening, but it's a way to get into it's a way to get into your Shihonage. So if he throws a punch at me,
Cross block catch, yeah.
Okay. So then what do I want to do? Do I want to go into this hand and do something here? Or do I want to go to this hand and do something here? Usually what happens here is I take this down and use it for a Shihonage.
Oh, cool.
But, you know, or you can think of it as a cross arm under, right? But it's basically the same idea. The punch is coming in here. And then
Cross block low, cross block high, hands open and switch, down to your hip, hammer fist, step forward, strike. So what that looks like with Dwayne as he goes, maybe he kicks, then he hits. These hands open to pull this hip down to my hip, strike, and maybe it's throw. Sweep.
or that technique we did at the beginning of class.
Yeah, but so that key to the rotation, the whole reason you're rotating is because you're actually turning this over and getting your hand in here to pull it to your hip for that strike. It can be on this side, it can be on this side, it can be down. So there's three styles of cross block
Yes.
today.
So, not really a cross block, more like this, but for knife defense, lower knife defense. This is one of the basic 360 outside defenses that we do.
Okay.
So it's a thrust back like this, and a grab to the weapon.
Hi.
So the weapon's right here, around the head, knee.
Okay,
They
looks
don't
like
have
you got
to drop the weapon.
got a nuke.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what am I coming at? Like here?
Right there, come in like this, knee. They don't essentially have to even drop the weapon.
Because you're
Just-
controlling the weapon.
You're controlling the weapon completely, and you just beat them until they either drop it or they
Okay,
find no more.
would you please finish that for him? When you see what he's gonna do when you do it to him.
What did,
So,
I didn't see what I did.
So he's doing.
so it's just out, in, that, and just
There's at least Kaitanage.
back of the head.
Aye.
Okay, lots of options from there, obviously.
Hi. Kaitanage Urigarami. Let's see. Okay, so how are you going to stop here?
Hi.
So bring it here. Are you doing this?
He's going to the neck.
Going to the neck, controlling the head.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're working this.
Yeah.
And then from here, what I would do from here is just go straight into Urigarami.
Right?
Take the knife away there. There's another heinous one you can do. So here, down. Cool. I'm gonna drop this one here, and then you take the neck.
Oh my God.
Maybe.
But I seen another one.
He's thinking of Kaitanage.
That's probably what it is. Because you're just taking, it's real simple. It's not as involved. Once you're at that point, then you can just throw him from there. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. As an extension to what you just showed.
Cool. This position in Kaitanage that you want is here, because from here I can get into a bunch of different techniques, which is kind of what you did. It was just the opening was a little bit different, and your hand placement was different. If I'm here, it's going to be tricky for me to get this.
To do the throw.
So
Which is why
I'm not sure.
Urigarami comes a little easier.
Yeah, the fulcrum point for the Kaitanage is this. And you see a lot of people trying to do Kaitanage, like they won't get this, and they'll try and throw them like this, but they don't have the arm. Okay, or if they do have the arm, they do this and try and push with the arm. When what you need to work the technique is extension, so that my center can work. We were going through the passing.
Sagong. Hi.
You maintain control of that stick. You don't want to pop it or throw it out of the cut zone.
Because that just gives him the momentum to strike.
Because you lose contact.
Yes. But as long as you got contact, you're able to monitor his weapon and see where it's going. That's what we're trying to
Okay.
do.
Hi.
Okay, so when you're so Shomanichi. So you have two different ways that you can deal with this as it's coming in. Okay, well, actually three different ways. One is this comes in, I'm blocking, and then I'm monitoring this so that I can get behind it.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. The next one would be using the energy as he hits me.
Oh, his downward energy causes your
I
weapon to move.
So there's the pop.
Be sincere in your cut hit me. Ooh. And it sends the Vulcan right back around.
Yeah.
The other way would be instead of this popping, I'm reaching out to catch it. So then it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. And you're monitoring because you're catching it.
I'm monitoring,
You're
catching,
moving with
and
it.
using it at the same time.
Yes.
And that's all I think.
Cool, that's great.
It went from me being here to me being here. So as your sword comes in, I send it back. So if your cut is coming in, instead of me waiting for it to come to here, start again, I catch it here. And if you're sincere, it's gonna send the energy right back to you. And then eventually, if you do the technique right, you take the energy from the initial strike and you use that energy to work the whole exercise. Maybe. Okay, so there are some drills we can do. A lot of this position back to controlling the center line. So it relates to what we were just talking about as far as controlling the center line. If my opponent moves to this side, okay, I move my back foot and adjust if he moves over here. Okay, so what's the first thing you do when somebody tries to hit you?
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Okay, so your Bokken cut is coming in. I want to get out of the way. Okay, I don't want to stay here and try and block it. I want to get out of the way. So I get out of the way and then I bring my Bokken just in case. And because I brought my Bokken up the way that I did, it's slanted down at about a 45-degree angle. And if he was sincere in his cut, the Bokken is going to slide off, which will let me come back to center. And then I move to cut him. So I move to cut him. He raises, this comes down, and now my blade is down on this side. This side cuts down, so now I move here. And now it goes down. And if it's done right, then we should be alternating sides. The next idea of how to hold a Bokken is this V cut. Okay, and so Chiba Sensei teaches his. So a V here and a V here. And so because of this V shape, the Bokken wants to move within that V. So one school of thought is that because of the shape of the Bokken, because of this natural curve, the Bokken naturally wants to come up. So I don't want to be thinking about using all these muscles to get this Bokken to come up. It wants to come up. In fact, I'm having a hard time keeping it down. It just wants to keep coming up. So think about it that way when you have to raise your sword. So I never bring the tip of my sword down here because then I'm exposed, my throat's exposed, my wrists are exposed. I might use this as an opening to draw my opponent in, but for the most part I always want the tip pointed at my opponent's throat so there's no opening. So really just a body position. So when I do my cut, there are a few different ways to look at it. When I'm cutting with the Bokken, I'm only cutting with the last 2 or 3 inches of the blade. There are times where I'll use this, but this part of the blade is really more like if he raises, I get inside and then I can cut him open here or jam and try and cut into his armor a little bit. But with Bokken, with sword work, it's really more of a chess game. It's hard to get one move, one kill, but what I can do is I can cut him up a little bit here and there and take away his bishop and his knight and his rook so that I can get to the king.
So the same philosophy as
is the streamer then, because it's through all those slices.
Yeah, absolutely.